Hello and welcome back. I'm Arumba. Thank you for joining me. Let's play some more Phrygia in Imperator Rome. Alright, so we have an alert we need to deal with right now. Blockaded ports. Pirate navies have spawned, and they're currently blockading some of the port provinces in this region. So we're going to go ahead and turn on naval morale again. Now, since we're going to be doing combat, let's go ahead and assign a commander. We have Gerbal Gizgo, who's got 10 martial score. He has a couple traits. He's a confident man. This would affect effective commander, chariot discipline, and heavy cavalry discipline. And enslavement efficiency +3 because he's cruel. I'm going to save him for land troops because you get an extra siege pip for every 5 martial score of your commander. So a 9 person is much worse at sieges versus a 10 person. Besides, this guy's 79 years old and he's got, you know, he's us. Let's have us lead. Why not? You spend some money to hold games, gain some popularity. I don't think we really need to do that just yet. We are currently at 100% health. Despite our high age of 79, our health is not down. You die when health gets to 0. I honestly don't know if there are just events that kill you or not. I haven't experienced that yet. Alright, an Egyptian ship has docked at our port in the city of Chalkis, carrying a priest of the Isis cult amongst its cargo. The Egyptian goddess has seen a growing cult in her honor, and all the rites and celebrations one usually sees among the mystery cults of the Greek pantheon. The cult is certain to set their sights on Phrygia if we let them. Spread of ISIS. Should we accept ISIS? I think no. I think we'll just say no. No ISIS. ISIS. We don't want ISIS. Okay, we're going to recover naval morale at 25% per month. So it'll just take a month or two to get our morale back up to full, and then we can go fight those naval pirates. I'd like to keep on trying to get our research points sort of sorted. Also want to check on trade routes. We have access to tons more available trade. I mean, really just importing anything is better than importing nothing. So I'm going to keep on just going with the slaves. Slave happiness. Try to avoid any kind of slave rebellion that could potentially happen. So if we have access to olives that are external to us, we'll keep the ones that we have because the surplus that we currently have gives us a bonus as well. So if I want to pay civic power to establish trade routes, I'd rather not give away one of my surpluses. Hopefully that also makes sense. So we got some pirates up there. We have a disloyal character, P. Atalid. His loyalty is currently decaying because his family is scorned. I guess Atalid is probably a family we should worry about. Eight martial. Tell you what. We'll go ahead and let's just pull back these troops for now, and let's make that Atalid kid in charge. We've got something Atalid. The Atalid that I want is the one that's got 8. He's currently the Archisomatophylax guy. So we're gonna put someone else in charge here, like say his dad, so that we can have the other guy be the general. And that will hopefully allow him. First off, he gains his family will no longer be scorned. He's also gaining loyalty because of commanded cohorts. So that on its own just straight away fixes the problem. And then Atalid was, so the dad is at 47 loyalty and this guy is at 59% loyalty. And they're both slowly gaining a little bit. We can do some clicks and stuff if we wanted to spend monarch points to like guarantee their loyalty, but let's avoid doing that if we don't have to. Let's go to the next highest guy on the list and just improve relations with them. I'm gonna get these subjects dealt with. So oratory power could be used to promote our citizens in order to get them to the point where we can get a research better up. Better up? Yeah, better up. Age finds us all in the end. Even the priests and surgeons shake their heads when confronted with the inevitable decline of the human body. As Antigonus Monophthalmus and the Gonid is finding out he may not have much time left. We've gained the Dementia. That's a character trait called Dementia. Reduces our stats by 2 across the board, and we lose 2% health per month, which means we've got about 50 or so months to live. All right, well, we have 4 years to straighten this country out before we have to deal with the succession. Currently, there are no supporters for the other people. On Monarch death, we're going to have 65 legitimacy, because you just automatically lose some. There is some support for pretenders, presumably, but because these guys have some money. So Antigonus Gonatus Antigonid has 400 ducats of personal wealth. He's going to use that to raise an army upon the death of our current ruler. So if we could, it'd be great to, you know, take his money, and that'd be fine. Or to, you know, possibly execute him. Could be also good. His loyalty is actually quite high, despite being a pretender. We could bribe him, take some corruption of our own. Again, this is why I took the monthly corruption decay. Besides, corruption applies to the character, not the country, so when we die, the corruption would be gone anyway, but you know, 1 corruption would be gone in just 10 months, so we can afford to do clicks like that. So I think, I think we'll go ahead and just not do it. He's at 67 loyalty. I think we'll be all right. Okay, clearing out those navies. Have no more blockaded ports. Let's go ahead and dock up, and we can put our naval morale back down again. Save some money. I saw a pop-up there saying that we had gained the marketplace in our capital. So we're up to two marketplaces now, which increases local civilization by 2%, which means that our cap on civilization value is 42. It's going up by 0.04 a month. So that means that it's going to take 50 months, about 4 years, to gain that civilization value. I have a tendency to spend all the money that I have in my coffers, so I'm going to go ahead and just, you know, do that, but also spend it in a place that I know I'm going to want it. I want to have as much civilization cap in our capital city as possible, because that's where we're going to centralize our research. The reason why we're going to centralize research there is because if you look in the bottom of this tooltip, it says capital region, capital area, capital city. If you look at any other city in this region, it'll just say capital region, capital area. So your capital, your absolute top-level capital of your entire country can get 175% potential output efficiency if you have everything maxed out, max happiness, etc. For some reason, we started off with local autonomy in our capital area, and I don't really want that. So as soon as we can change this, which we can right now, let's switch off of that. So, I mean, it is giving us some happiness, but I think that right now the penalty to our research from having that citizen output penalty, the local autonomy, is quite high. So we can do civilization effort to try to get that civilization value up a little bit faster as well. We could do social mobility to kind of spread out the unit types, or the population type. Encourage trade is a very good one. Commerce income and then an extra import route. Let's go ahead and do encourage trade. Gets us an extra trade slot here. And then I'd like to import more vegetables. Why more vegetables specifically? Well, actually, hold on. We already have a surplus of vegetables, which means we've got a capital surplus, which means that we can... you know what? I think I actually still am going to import some more. Because basically, okay, if you look at the cost right now to move units around, to move slaves is a base price of 5. The surplus of vegetables takes it down to 4, and it rounds down to the nearest integer. So if we can get the trade bonus in our capital for exporting slaves, we'd get an extra 10% move slaves cost. 10% of 5 is 0.5, but that would round us down to 3 civic power cost to move our slaves around anywhere in our entire country. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to import more vegetables from someone else so that we can then export the current surplus. We should get an offer from some other country to buy one of our vegetables, because we're not willing to trade away surplus, like the actual surplus bonus, Oh, now we have a +2 bonus. So they'll ask us for it. And then when we export it, then that means that we're going to actually have enough to get the full discount. And then we can start moving citizens around, not citizens, sorry, slaves, in order to min-max some of our production of resources. There's many people offering us things. This person wants us to export some cloth. This person wants olives. This person wants glass. No one's asking for my vegetables yet. I want to export the one that's produced in Anasartha. This guy wants to buy our base metals, sure. This guy wants to buy something else as well. Okay, we're currently improving relations with 3 people. I think we're going to start spending oratory power here to get our citizen production up a little bit more. So, because this is where we're going to focus on getting as much research as possible, notice how we do have some unhappiness now. Instead of being at 100%, because I switched off of that plus 25% in order to get the extra import route. We're now at 85% with the citizens, 85% here. The slaves are super happy for the most part, except for the Jewish ones, because, you know, they're Jewish. So, we could try to convert them over time using a province edict. Or, yeah, province edict. But I'd rather just keep that trade route active. If you cancel this and you lose the trade route, then you just suddenly have one of them get canceled. And you don't always remember what you traded for, so... In this case, I think we'll probably just pay oratory power to assimilate these Jewish people. I mean, we don't actually have any unrest right now here, so it's not really a problem that they're unhappy. Anyway, also, since this is going to be where we do research mostly, we don't really care as much about the manpower in our capital state. We're getting 9 manpower per month out of 168 here from these freemen. What I want to do is promote the freemen into citizens. That way we're converting their production from manpower into research. So I'm willing to pay these oratory points in order to try to improve this research efficiency ratio so that we don't fall behind on research tech. Okay, as far as like war goes, we could already be trying to declare offensive wars. However, crap. Game just popped something up on me. I have no idea what that was. As I clicked, as I paused, it popped up. Okay, we have 106 civic points, so we're gonna pop up saying we can do a new invention. I do want to test this actually. I want to see if this applies retroactively. So right now we can go up to 133. I think that it does. It looks like it's going to go all the way up to the max now, even though I did the click earlier. Suddenly we're making 25 ducats a month in commerce income relative to 19 ducats a month in taxes. We could be making even more if I wasn't doing the national unrest one. Let's just do a quick check to see if we can maybe turn that off. If we didn't have it on, looks like we might be okay. Let's go ahead and try turning that off for now. I mean, it's a swing of like, what, 4 ducats a month, but money's money. The Hellenistic city-state of Chalcedon has given us 107 ducats. Cool. It's nice of them. Okay, back to our capital. We're about to finish that 4th market, and we can't build more because we need more population. You can have 1 building by default, and then an extra 1 building for every 10 pop. So with 33, we can make 3 from 33 divided by 10 plus the 1 base. If we want to build more here, which we do, we need to move more population here or go fight people and capture slaves. In this case, what I'm going to do is take the people who are in the smallest city, and depending on the price, we're going to start migrating them into the capital, if possible. Okay, so here's an interesting thing. To migrate, to like move people around, costs monarch points, sure. You can move people between cities within a single province, or cities that are adjacent to each other, even if they're in different provinces, or cities that are adjacent to each other via sea tile. So, in our capital city right here, where we have that 175% bonus, 75% total from capital region, capital area, capital city, if we were to migrate people from this city, where they only get 25%, into the physically adjacent city here, we could get more overall production out of them. So I'm going to actually pay to move these guys into Antigonia. But it costs 20 points per person. And at the same time, the people that are currently here, we're going to continue to promote them into citizens. Something else to consider is that in the bottom of this tooltip it says every 15 slave pop will produce an additional 1 glass. We currently have 11 slaves, so we're producing 1 glass. If we get 4 more slaves in our capital, then we get an extra glass, and someone will ask us for it, and it's going to make us like 0.6 ducats a month. So, if we look at Syria, we go down to a small place that has some slaves, it has no chance of actually getting to 15. And we pay the price to move these guys. I'm still hoping someone will, buy my vegetables. But, we can potentially get more money just by paying a few civic points to move people around. Okay, we've converted everyone in the capital that was a freeman into a citizen, which increases our research ratio, so we're up to 35.3%. Still quite bad, but it's better than where we started at like 22. Character is rapidly dying. The Olympic Games, once more. The renowned Olympic Games are due to occur in the city of Olympia. The traditions surrounding these games are ancient, reputedly dating back to the days of mighty Heracles himself. And they are an occasion in which all of Greece rejoices. It is custom to send our proudest, most able young son of Phrygia to compete on our behalf. We believe we have found 2 ideal candidates, a nimble-footed sprinter by the name of Makatas, and a stout fellow who calls himself Matan. Which of these fine athletes shall we send? So, this guy's a researcher, this guy is just a member. I'm just going to send... I don't want to send someone who's a very high skill, civic skill researcher away, so we'll send Matan. Okay, we need to get 6 more pops into our capital. I'm also going to maybe consider, possibly just building some marketplaces in other locations. Another thing we could also spend money on is some zone of control forts type stuff. We have some forts, only 4 of them. Looks like we've got one down here on the border with Egypt. We lack forts in this whole area. Defensive locations are definitely nice to have. If we could block off access. This is my land. So I don't control those hills. I was thinking we could go like fort here, that blocks this whole region, but since I don't own it, I can't do that. Guess we could use this defensive little range here. We already have a fort there. That's owned by a subject, which is actually kind of nice. So they're going to pay for it for us. In a war, their fort zone of control should project into here. So I'm going to build one not in Damascus, but actually in Saigira. Actually, we'll build one here. That'll kind of protect this little block here. Beyond that, we've got subjects who have forts over there as well. Got some hills. I like the idea of blocking this off. These are impassable terrain provinces, so just creating like a little corridor where they get stuck on forts would be nice. Also, desert doesn't provide defensive bonus if you go to relieve it, but deserts have that bonus +1 attrition, so they make pretty good locations to force the enemy to siege down. So I think we'll just build one right on the border. And then over here, let's just build one here as well to protect this edge. Over here, we got an island here that doesn't have any forts, doesn't really need it though. We've got subjects, we've got someone that we're trading with. We have no forts in this area, and there are some defensive provinces. I think I'll build one here, and build one there as well as here. It's quite a heavy investment in forts, but I know that with the succession coming up soon, I'm going to want to have zone of control in quite a few places. Max manpower's come up quite a bit. We're still recovering, just sort of sitting on it. You'll see that succession happen pretty soon, I think. Those forts take quite a long time to build as well. Right, that all being said, I'm going to take a short break here. I'll be back in the next episode. As always, thank you for watching. Hope you're enjoying it, and I'll see you in the next one. See you soon.